Scrappy Peeps, it's Suzanna here today for Scrapbooking Boys to Men, and today is the letter P. I am sharing this layout about practice. So this photo was taken on the first morning that my son had to set his alarm at 3:53 a.m., not p.m., for morning practice. So I have used a digital font. It's from LD Lettering Delights, and you can get that in the Silhouette store. And so it looks like the clock numbers, only it's letters. And I put that in black, and I am going to then back that with this blue. So I've been doing a lot of um, stash bashing lately, and using just a lot of my stash. I have new collections. A lot of the new collections are not colors that are my favorites. I like blue, red, yellow, orange, kind of those primary colors, green. Um, and so I have just felt that's what I want to do. And so that's what I have been doing. So this is Old Cocoa Daisy, and that black and white is from Ellie's Studio. No, that is from Tuesday Morning Stash Bash. I'm not sure what, I think it's American Crafts, if I'm being, maybe. Anyway, and then I'm going to border this central column with these yellow strips. Again, I just really love the way that the yellow pops that black against the black and white. And then I want to do some stamping. I have a stamp set from old Kelly Perky about being a morning person. And so I'm going to use that to create my own stamped background there. I just have that one simple picture. It's from quite some time ago. August of 2017 was his first practice. And then I am just going to kind of take it from there and see what I'm going to use. I use this edge of my trimmer to house things that I know I want to use, but don't know quite what other elements are going to be incorporated. So a good chunk of this layout is going to be me stamping and trying to create a perfect circular grid. And if you know me, I've talked about this quite a bit. I am quite type A, and so I am going to try and make this as perfectly aligned as I possibly can. Which, when we're talking about circles, is somewhat difficult. Now, yes, I could have gotten out my stamp gizmo thingy and probably made it a little bit more perfect than it is, but you know what? I'm letting go of those type A tendencies as best I can. And then I also have this stamp set from one of my paper person kits so that I could put morning practice because he's been doing tons of afternoon practice. This was about that first morning getting up at, I think, like 3:53 was when he got up for 4:30 practice. So that is also from Tuesday morning. It's Bella Boulevard, and it's just yellow dots on white, sort of random yellow dots, so it's not polkas. Well, I guess they are polka dots. They're just random. And none of the whites in this match, but close enough. That's just what I'm going to go with, because if I obsess about these whites, nothing in the white world in scrapbooking matches, I have learned. So I'm going to trim this down a little bit because I want that black to show. I also need to get as many circles on there as I can without looking too crowded. And then there's something that I want to do with this. So I've stamped one, and I want to see what size circles are going to fit, use to cut it out. And I can't remember, I think I went with the 1.5-inch circle, and that left me a really nice white border. But then when I went with the 1.25, that's the exact size of the stamp, and so there's no white border, which is fine because I want to pop a few of these up. So I'm just going to stamp these so that I can create my grid and know what that is going to look like. It's a template of sorts. I could have created a template, but I wasn't being that anal, and I knew that I was going to use those that I had cut out there to also pop a few up. So I'm going to go with, I think it ends up being 5 by 4.5, and I knew I wanted a few running in off the page so that it looked contiguous as you moved your eye down the page. And I'm going to use my lovely friend, the T-square. Yes, Camille, you can laugh. um, to line that up. I don't know why I went with the T-square. I think, the thing about a T-square is that that top end at the T, the top arm of the T, should really hook to whatever surface it is that you're working with. However, this is a very cheap T-square, and so it bends, and so it doesn't hook to anything, which I think is part of my frustration with this thing. But you'll see it a lot in recent videos. I have used it much more, and you'd be very proud of me. So I'm trying to get columns, and I think I'm just going to stamp all the way across or stamp the columns and then move them across and see how I can make that fit on the page. I know I can always add more strips down the side, just for that window of circles. And so before you ask me, because I know you'll ask, it's hard to see in the teeny tiny screen, but it says rise and shine, and then there's a sun in the middle, and it goes rise and shine around 3 times. And I did try very hard to make sure that I didn't rotate the stamp. I'm very good at rotating circular stamps, so that I had the stamp that stamped continuous. And I'm going to save you the time of watching me stamp this repetitively all the way down, but there you go. And then I've got that one last whole one, and I stamped off on that. And that's okay, because there were a few that I knew I was going to pop up, and so that'll just be one of the ones that I pop up there, and then the half stamps. So I have a really nice border to use on my page to go with the theme of morning practice. So I believe Sarah and Christy are joining me today. So be sure to head over to their channels and see what they have for the letter P. This scrapbooking series, Boys to Men, we are taking our boy pictures, and they could be man pictures. So little boys, big boys, and we are moving through the letters of the alphabet as the topic of each of our next series. And the letter P is what is inspiring us today. So you could do party, pets, pizza, positive, politics, prepared, pros and cons. What else did I have? Piece of my heart. Anything that starts with P. Pancakes. I wanted to do peek in his pockets. I thought that would be fun, but my boys are a little bit older, so it's not as interesting as finding rocks and lint and all of that random stuff. But I thought playlist. I did that for music, pie, so all sorts of great P words. I went with practice because swimming is, this picture has been hanging out. I think I printed this picture probably in about 2018, and it's been hanging out in my stash of pictures to do. And so I thought, well, with him leaving, and it was a good time to get this one done. So that is the grid. I, in retrospect, should have put the popped up ones on after I had decided what size this grid was going to fit on my layout, but whatever. Uh, so it doesn't go all the way across, so I'm going to end up having to figure something else out, and I'm fine with the 4 across. And then again, like I said, I really did want some partial circles, and so that is going to, those partial circles are just, you're really just going to get a teeny peek of them in order for it not, I didn't want partial circles up the top and the bottom as well. So by using the 4 across there, I have the perfect border, black border on either side, that I can use that sticker, that border sticker from Bella Boulevard, and that just adds a little more color to the layout. My color scheme has somewhat been dictated by the photo and the collection that I'm using. Well, it's not really a collection, but those stickers that you saw there, that sticker sheet from Bella Boulevard. So I'm going to go with orange, yellow, and blue. And then you have that pop of green from the owl in the photo, which also appears in some of the Bella Boulevard elements that I'm going to use. And I believe it's the boy sea version, man of the sea, fish of the sea, whatever the boy version of that mermaid man water collection is, from probably like 3-4 years ago. It's kind of old, but I like it. I've used it a lot. Again, I think it's because of the bright colors. I like those bright colors. So that scallop border is going to add color and be the perfect complement to the remainder of the layout. And then that allows me to put that square photo in the center there. I want a little bit more color to the bottom part of the page. So I have, again, you're going to see me use a lot of these scraps on repeat and in layouts. Um, I like these simple patterns, is I think what it is, and I just like these bright colors. They've been what have been moving me lately, inspiring me to get these things done. So that is a Ellie Studio 4x6 card, and then I wanted the water paper. I didn't want what was actually on the card, those divided borders, so I'm going to cover that with that wave paper. I really wanted to use this card that had all the times on it from Ellie Studio. But I really liked that label and the phrase that says new season, new routine, because when you have to get up at 5:35 in the morning, it is definitely a new season, and you definitely have new routines that need to be begun, because this boy needs his sleep. And so, yeah, he had to go to bed early. He still goes to bed early in order to get up early. So I have a mix of tons of simple stories. I forget what those things are called. uh, anyway, those things, epoxy dots, and then those hearts are actually from Amy Tangerine, and so the colors match and coordinate perfectly. So I've got the hearts on the inside grid of the circles, and then I have the epoxy dots on the circles themselves. And you'll see that 3 of them are popped, and that's perfect just for a little bit of dimension there. So I have a lot of black at the bottom of the layout between the alarm clock and his nightstand, and then where I'm housing the title and the labels for journaling. And so I feel like I needed a little bit more contrast up the top, which is why I decided to use those epoxy dots and hearts there, is to get that color contrast and divide the weight of the layout a little bit more evenly. So that ends up being the bulk of the structure of the layout, and then I'm just going to put in a few embellishments, and you will see that that takes me a little bit of time to figure out how that's going to go. I struggled here because I knew I wanted somewhere to journal, and I didn't know that a label was going to be enough journaling, so I thought that maybe I might flip the photo so it would be a flip page and you would have the journaling underneath. I thought that maybe I might, there's that tag, use that tag for hidden journaling, but it really just serves more as pulling a little bit more black for weight up the top there. And so it is not a functional tag. I literally just put that end of the tag out there. I love that sticker. It says I can't even, because it totally describes it's brutal getting up that early in the morning, 5 days a week. And actually, he has to get up early on Saturdays too. But he's been doing it, and that's that dedication for you. So here I'm going to stamp in orange to complete the title, and I am going to end up just journaling on a tag at the bottom of the layout, and it's very simple journaling. He is It says aging up to 15 means not only a new age group, but new practice groups and time, 4:30 a.m. Ugh. For you and for us, time to find a carpool ASAP. I had thought that I would put more about his dedication to practice and all of that, but it tells the story, and if I want to put more, I can always journal on the back of that as well. I do want to put something about his dedication somewhere later on. So again, this is a series. It's called Scrapbooking Boys to Men. This month, or this particular letter P, Christy and Sarah are playing along, so be sure to head over to their channels and check out what it is that they're sharing for the letter P. And then in 2 weeks, So for on the 5th Tuesday, we will have the letter Q. That should be interesting. We did shift things around. Sarah got confused. So yeah, we're keeping you on your toes as to when we actually post these videos. But there is the letter P done. And I will link you to all of the other videos, the playlist, if you are new joining us with this series here. So thanks for stopping in today. I hope you are doing well. Come back again soon for the letter Q, because that, yeah, as I said before, definitely be not a whole lot of words for the letter Q. Enjoy the close-ups. Take care.